YouTube, welcome. In this video, we will talk about the, Edania dramas, Edania tournament, the current state of PvP. This will be some kind of, I'm expecting some kind of short, podcast for you, some kind of, a pill setup, I don't know how to explain it. It will be short and it will be easy to listen it. We will just yap a lot about the current state of PvP with Chicken, with Neri. Hygaa is our manager and I'm here. We couldn't find lots of streamers and the veterans for this one. Luke was on the list, the best Sork, but he couldn't, attend some of the other problems. Without further ado, let's get into it. Here we go. Hygaa on the left side, Chicken on the left bottom, and the Neri on the right bottom. I am ready, and I'm just giving the comment to Hygaa.
Okay. So just as clarification, there's some guests that may have some difficulties, but for the future episodes, we will surely get them. But yeah, let's start things off. So please, everyone, Chicken, we start with you. Who are you? You can introduce yourself.
Yo. So my name is Chicken, well, Chicken Son. I am a EU player that currently mains Succession Crusader. I've been playing the game since 2019 or 18, and I basically do every content video as PvP, PvE. I've done some live skilling, but I'm mainly PvP focused, even though I haven't really been doing that much PvP lately. And that's it.
Okay. How about you, Nitty? Who are you?
Hello, my name is Neri. Playing BDO for far too long. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I manage the Sage Discord along with all the top tiers EU, and then we have some SCA players as well on the Sage community, and yeah, I mainly PvP in this game. That's my
Okay.
thing.
All good. Okay, so today we are gonna be trying to talk about how the PvP scenarios have been changing with the current situation of gear, and a little bit of a recap on at what point we were before the Hygaa Ball, and how the meta or how everything is looking now with the new additions. And after that, we will be talking about the Edana tournaments, all the drama that has been happening on several regions. There's been several servers with some issues with this tournament. So yeah, we can jump about those. But let's start with the PvP. So let's do a little bit of a recap. If we think about previous episodes on the first ones that we did, talking about PvP, we were arguing about the tank meta. Although we can agree that we are still in tank meta with some specific classes, but we will jab about it. All the veterans were agreeing that there was too much defensive stats in some sort of way. There were some classes that not abused, but had a good enough evasion numbers. So in order to achieve those evasion with your accuracy, you would have to lower too much your AP in order to, manage to hit those targets. So it was a little bit in a conflict zone. You guys remember those days? They weren't fun. I bet nothing much has changed. But yeah. With the new additions of gear, how would you say that has changed, Nitty?
I mean, okay, looking at it pre-Edania, pre-Sovereign offhand, if people were full deck, like they were living the good life because they just had they just had enough AP to run accuracy, and they could first things off DR targets. If you run like 6 DR crystals, were unkillable. The Slugzerkers, etc., the Shaish, you would not kill them, and you just let them be. And that was the main issue that, like, for example, not a lot, some EU guilds decided, like, for example, my alliance, okay, we're gonna just permanently pick occupation, because even though Flame Towers debuff DR, it's boring if you like fight, and yeah, then all the DR targets stay alive and just run you down all the time, right? It just became boring. It's the same with occupation. Not saying that occupation fixes it, but occupation is a bit easier on the mind instead of what's it called? Instead of construction.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it right now, when we have Sovereign offhand, we have hand crystals. The DP meta slightly changed with the patch that dropped. What's it called on Thursday? Like they removed the DR crystals. At least you can
Yeah.
stack some of them. Yeah, so a lot of our players are a bit like, yeah, it actually is a change, even though it looked so small in the patch itself. When you actually you set up your crystals,
Mm-hmm.
it does impact you. But I'm with Edania arm evasion. Like evasion is a complete. Let's just say right now it's a bit overpowered. Right? So we swapped from being a DR meta into an evasion meta.
You think so? Because there are some people that are calling that evasion is that. What would you say to those people? Anyone can join into this conversation, maybe when they are chicken, if you guys have something to say into the evasion topic.
They don't understand. Go ahead, chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that evasion is dead and that it's not good and all of that. I don't know if it's true or not, but if you compare it to the past, evasion was like super counterable before we got all the free DR that we have right now. I think even if evasion is strong, like Neri is saying, I think the DR is still the issue behind it, basically. Because if you remember, like 4 years ago, all you needed to do to counter the full DP people that were running evasion, all you needed to do was to have 4, 5 people in your guilds, like Suck Rangers or Archers, running full accuracy, and the full DP tanks couldn't play the game. So I think the DR is still the problem behind that evasion.
I do agree that it would be good if, let's say, a DPS player specs into, let's say, full damage, 0 tankiness, or full accuracy, 0 tankiness, that they can, and it's like, let's say, 3 or 4 people in, let's say, a node war, that they actually can gun down, like a Suckzerker or like a Shy or okay, Mystic, right? Like that would be good. I'm not saying those classes not fully don't die, but the good players on those classes basically seem unkillable, right? So that's like the issue. It's a DPS sponge right now in the meta, which is not good overall for the game, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it makes the game extremely boring when we're on the tank meta. It does. That's the reason I don't even like. I'm not going to uncap Node Wars right now at all because the couple last like Node Wars and sieges I went, I was playing AP Corsair and I wasn't doing damage to anyone because everyone is running like IDR, I evasion. You don't kill people. It's not fun. It's just boring.
So here's the thing, right? One complaint that we had before with this tank meta is, of course, strikers, mystics. Even though those classes would still run like quite highly defensive stats, they were still managing to kill squishier targets. Would you guys say that people that are accomplishing those levels of defensiveness are still as effective on killing people? Has that changed?
I mean, I want to talk about the tankiness meta. Right now, we're still seeing some kind of tankiness meta on 3 significant classes. And the tankiness meta, like, tankiness just become meta because not tankiness is just some kind. Tankiness is a feature in the game. But in this game, in Black Desert Online, if you give lots of feature to a class, a single class, and beside tankiness, that class just turns into some kind of meta. We're just checking Berserker, 2 grabs, millions of grabs, still has heals, like AoE CCs, lots of other protected CCs, and also regen and some other things. It's mobile, it has the highest HP pool in the game, lots of things in one class. The Mystic, every 12 seconds you can use that stupid vacuum, Giga Tankiness, best evasion, stats in the game with Striker, and a good heal skill with the PA every 40 seconds if I'm not wrong. Lots of protected CCs. If the Mystic players wants, you can never catch the Mystic except grab. By the way, grab nerfed heavily. Other than this one, Striker, very good DPS even if you just go tanky. You guys, if you guys want to watch Ask Max, you know, the Guild Leagues, that guy is just showing that how broken is the class for large scale if you know how to play the class. And it is not that much hard. He's going for just a little bit tanky build, mostly just going offensive builds. He is doing the best DPS and taking the less damage. And he has lots of protected CC. He's the tanky. He has the lots of utility in the skill kit. So overall, Mystic, Striker, Berserker. These are actually the tankiness meta. If you just remove them, is there any class that you're gonna just cry about that this class is tanky and making troubles? No? If it like, do you guys just, you know, cry about Shy is tanky? It needs to be tanky. It is tanky, and it's okay. Otherwise,
I mean, like, I can see people complaining about Corsair still.
Like just grab that class. Like if I just grab Corsair. If I see a Corsair, even if the tanky, I just grab him and just like everybody, just 5 people hit the Corsair and Corsair dies. Like Corsair is not a topic compared to the other one.
They have a lot of utility and CCs. Like they have a stacked kit, right, for playing full DP. While if you look at the Shy or a Corsair, while a Shy doesn't, a Shy has a lot of utility and has some control with CCs,
but there is no
grabs, no mobility.
Yeah, there is nothing.
It's much different.
The heal is not strong as the other ones.
Corsair is the same.
Yeah,
Corsair is like
same,
one protected CC. That's good,
saying,
and
like,
that's it. So people probably not gonna complain, like you were saying. Yes.
Yeah, like the other 3 classes, Striker, Berserker, and Mystic, the utility in their skill kit, and they also keep being able to damage. I have no idea why. I've encountered with a Berserker in Uncapped. I did like with full combo with double down smash, 60% damage. I couldn't kill the guy. He just killed me with almost 700 DR. Like, how is that possible? I am the offensive class, Awakened Dracani, isn't it? Offensive and damage class. Where is my damage? It's not about my class. It's about these 3 classes in the game. And because of the thing. So in before, 3-4 years ago, all veterans will remember, people were pushing for 1.7k evasion. Lots of evasion. Stack. Because evasion was working different. But right now they changed it. Evasion is working like a percentage damage reduction. Between the relation, like they are, between the relation with your accuracy and evasion, with you and your opponent, you deal damage, and some percent of your damage just being reduced by evasion. So people calling its evasion is dead because they can see miss. In before, you will be able to see miss, and you were taking no damage. But they just added the 10% guaranteed damage, no matter what the evasion level is. Right now, people going and find for the current stats. In before, it was like 1.3k evasion, 1.350 evasion is being enough for most of the classes. For example, Corsair, one of my friends is saying that I'm just touching to 1.3k and done. I'm going for DR. I was going for DR or offensive stats. That's being enough. More than that, pushing more evasion is being complete wastes. Because no matter what you do, you will take damage anyway. So I was just boosting my DR. So evasion is not that. Evasion is just change something into different. People need to understand this. And BDO community is so stubborn to understand these type of changes. They are very, they're not easy people to accept the changes. If something is not working like they used to, they say it's dead, like the classes. They change some classes into something different. They say class is dead, but the class is not dead, for example. There are lots of examples in before. So, like evasion is not that. Evasion is not working like old times. You need to find a perfect sweet point for yourself for evasion. Then, if you want tankiness, you're going for DR. So, DR's problem, these 3 classes, they are giga tanky because of their base stats, and they're being unkillable while they do lots of things. Did you guys ever encounter with Awakened Mystic? You just deal 30% damage at max to that guy, but he just one-shot you with a good combo. And they have like perfect down smash CC reset combo in Awakened Mystic. Like, I don't know. So what I'm trying to explain is...
Yes, right. No, I finish your point and I can get it from
What
there.
I'm trying to is just explain it. Tankiness meta is not that much big issue. These fucking three classes are just making the tankiness meta is problem. If PA nerf these three classes utility or take some tankiness, like, then there will be no problem. Take some damage from them. Take some utility from them. Take some protected CC from them. Then there will be no problem. Then even if they become tanky, they'll be tanky. They'll be run around people, but they will create no threat. They will just make mass. Maybe Berserker grab one of you. But instead of spamming CC, instead of vacuum this place, dash, vacuum this place for Mystic, or just go in as a striker, roar, and huge AoE, just iframe, linger iframe around. I'm just dancing. I'm like jumping around like a monkey and gorilla, and I just, cry again. Well, battle cry was a skill, isn't it? Huge AoE, heal, and lots of things. I grab you. Lots of utility, lots of damage, lots of CC, lots of protections, lots of heal of these classes, and tankiness is just making them bonus. Like, there is nothing you can do against that. Like, tankiness is not the main issue. These fucking three classes are the issue, from my perspective.
So, I think everyone in the call here agrees is the tank meta is more about these three classes that we're talking, rather than just a general thing being very popular throughout all the classes. Nitty, Chicken?
I mean, there is some outliers when it comes to the core issue is that the class itself makes the DP or evasion broken, not DP or evasion makes the class broken, right? Like that's usually how it goes. The class's base stats itself. I mean, vacuum got buffed. Everybody has seen the buffed vacuum. If you don't have a fully iframe movement, you're not getting out of it. Like you're just stuck there. So same with Stork Ball, by the way. Like they gave Awakening Mystic again, even though they nerfed the slows, they gave it so much other utility. It's just basically, like if you can't kill it, it's an issue.
Yep.
I do agree.
Do you agree, Chicken?
I wouldn't necessarily say I agree it's only a problem with those classes, in a sense. I know people complain a lot as well about how tanky Evasion Sage can be, and how tanky Ash can be, for example. I don't think it's only specifically those three classes. In a DP setting, yes. But if you go like lower, if you go still a bit of AP and not completely DP meme, there are other classes that I think are still an issue on the game.
Okay, so you would say that there are more classes, but here's one point, and I'm gonna direct this question to you, Chicken. You as a Corsair player, I still remember vividly the meta when sub Corsair, you would see them everywhere. You would have full platoons with 6, 7 of them, as if they were current shy, with a vacuum, soldat utility. Imagine that your class had the same damage reduction as Mystic, Striker, or Circuit had. Would you say that your class would be more popular? Like, your kit can be comparable utility-wise to what those classes do?
No, we already have that SA reduction, though. Corsair
How
has
much do you
20%
guys
in
have?
SA, and 20% and 50 on whales on 4 skills.
Okay,
Like,
and
that's the main reason it got popular in the beginning. That's the thing, right? People were picking it for cap node war because the class suddenly became super tanky, and you could just put every. If you had a bad player on your guild, you'd put him on the shy, right? Let's be real. If there's someone on your guild that's playing some shit class, you would just ask him to go shy. And he would go sometimes. But when the Corsair got buffed like she did, people were just doing the same shit but with Corsair. And now you have like a tanky class in capped which shouldn't exist, which also has like good damage and good utility. So I think that was the main issue, was them actually increasing her tankiness by that much. Made the class extremely easy to play, and not requiring any sort of positioning or anything. You can just rotate whales, and you would be getting some some utility out of it, some damage, you know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what I like for me personally, right? If I think about, let's just call them the vanguards, right? They called these new 3 types of classes. They specified these supposed to be classes that are under the tag of vanguard on the patch notes. You can find those classes. They are supposed to be the tanky ones. They're supposed to be in front. They are supposed to be the first one charging in platoons versus platoons. I would like to see all those classes not on the broken level of Striker, Mystic, and Zerker, but to be on a level that all those classes are equivalent so that their kits can be utilized and they're fun to play and they are optimal in the same levels that these classes. This is what I think maybe PA should try to get. Like, I would love. I don't like the bulk meta, but the utility behind the heals, the PAs, the shields. Like, we can talk about Succession Dracanias. We can talk about Guardians. I would love to see more diversity on the classes that are popular in the game, so that everyone has an opportunity and to address in different ways this game. How could you guys see this problem being solved? How could we bring up more classes on the menu?
I don't know if this is a not take. I didn't actually dislike the Valk meta that we had.
Okay.
I feel like it was more enjoyable than what we currently have, to be fair. The Valk players actually needed somewhat ends, because basically if you engaged and you engaged properly back then, and the Valks didn't have time to react and heal each other, you could get kills at the very least, right? While now it's a bit different. In my opinion, I think the best way is literally to not have the Vanguard concept at all. I feel like the game is more fun when people are getting kills. I feel like the game is more fun when everyone is doing damage. I think they should actually just try and balance the Vanguard classes to also do damage to a certain extent, but not be too tanky.
Okay, so
and I don't know if the Valk players agree, but I think they enjoyed when they could go around and ult people and get kills like that, you know?
I've been one of those. That was fun as fuck. That was super fun. What were you gonna say, Nitty? Sorry?
I mean, I'm saying that, yeah, Valks could ult, but now they can't even do it in capped because it's dead.
Oh, no.
The changes chicken. Did you wait? Were you guys on capped on Thursday? Or no?
I haven't gone to Node Wars in the past
okay.
fucking month almost, bro.
Fair enough.
I haven't tested the newer caps either, so.
No,
Yeah, I heard
ultimate
they
is
made it
that
tanker, right?
because the HP pool just increased and the game changed into different direction, but the ultimate's still the same ultimate in 2020. Nothing changed. Like, you're still dealing damage, for example, in uncapped. Like, sometimes in uncapped, the Valkyrie with full RBF is just succeed the ultimate. It deals like 10k damage. It would kill you in before, but now you have 15k HP. No matter what he do, the damage of the ultimate is not enough to kill you enough. The damage of the ultimate needs to get buff. Then maybe like we can talk about the like Valkyrie ultimates good old days. And for example, some of you talked about you can go for tanky and Sage Hush or something, you know, and they're being tanky and they're also being trouble. It's in the same shit in different color, in different shape. I don't know, however you call it, but we talked about the tankiness is giving tankiness is just, you know, boosting the lots of utility, the utility of the other tank classes like Mystic, Striker, Berserker, and the bonus tankiness giving them to use their utility with above average DPS, isn't it? And this Hashashin and the Sage, what's the issue in these classes? You know, you cannot react them, you cannot see them, bam, 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 in and out, insta protected damage. Like, even while they're moving, they're dealing damage in Sage Awaken, for example. So, all of these classes, they have overpowered sights compared to other classes. They're god tier. And you're just even, for example, in Sage, you said, I saw Sages with evasion setup, and they're being not taking damage. while they casting skills, while they're moving around because of the nature of the tankiness, but they are being able to do the things when they do in an RBF build. Not fully, but they're just sacrificing, for example, they're not sacrificing lots of things, but they're gaining lots of tankiness compared to sacrification that they did. So same shit, different color. That's what I'm saying. The other guys is just boosting their utility with the tankiness, and the Sage and Hashashin, maybe Awakened Mag, I don't know. There are other classes too, OP, Dead Eyes, Scholar, something like. They are also boosting their damage and other utility in their kits. So at the end of the day, the result is just, from my perspective, in my every streams and in my every YouTube video when I just do analysis, I'm talking about some classes in this game, their skill kit full of OP shits. That's why they need to be pointed out and they need to get nerfed. If needs, just bear them alive to the ground like they did on Dracania. That's what I'm thinking. Sage, Hush, Awakened Maegu, Striker, Mystic, Berserker, Deadeye, if need, Scholar, Succession Dosa. All of these classes, we talked about them before. Maybe there are some other classes too, but these are the priority. They have OP shits in their skill kit. And if PA nerf them properly, even if they become tanky, they'll become tanky, but they will not be able to do whatever they do right now. It will be limited. They're choosing to become tanky. They're not just sacrificing things, and they're just benefiting of tankiness. That's what I'm thinking.
We can talk about the OP offensive classes, but I want to do a quick stop to introduce another yapper into the podcast. His name is Computer.
Is he AI?
No, he's not he's not
Pretty
AI,
much
but
is.
his name is Computer. He is a very well-known veteran in the EU scene, but yeah, Computer, you can try to introduce yourself real quick, and we can keep on the Japan. You can give your point.
Yeah, like I said, my name is Computer. I just was shot calling for a good while, pretty much. Yeah, I was the GM of a Tennessee and did a lot of node wars. I came back like a month ago, so I don't know if they're all uncapped idea of things, but I did play capped since I came back pretty much.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, I can add pretty much to that a little bit, but
Sure. If you guys see, just to give it away, like I was on the Fantasy Guild, we are very proudly holding a lot of the first EU titles of the guilds acquired, guild participations, the oldest guild in EU, still alive, well, not alive anymore, but doing guilds. Whenever they did these rankings of the guilds, Fantasy was on the top quite frequently, so you can guys go check that. But yeah, let's keep it from here. Quendia was talking about these offensive classes being sort of OP. He mentioned Assassin, both specs, but I would argue Succession is just completely out of hands.
Oh, you haven't seen a good
or
Awakening, Hash, bro. You have not seen a good Awakening.
Yeah,
Hash.
that's-
That
but-
class.
there's not many actually. There's not many.
Yes, but
least
the
here in
ones
EU.
that actually know how to play that class
Yeah.
make it even stronger than Succession. I'm not joking.
Oh,
by the
wow.
way.
In
But
small
Awakening
how
and
scale,
come
I
Hash,
Hash, if
agree.
you have that hands, it's really, it does more than Succession. Sure, Succession you can jump in, you can come out, but Awakening is almost permanently in the fight. Like it's permanently trying to kill you. It is a really
I-
strong class.
All I remember from a good Awakening Hash is having nightmares, having this very famous player in EU called Tamatsu or Kid. You remember, Computer? We specifically had patrols in order to manage this guy because he would get out of control back in the days. But yeah, I can argue that Awakening Hashashin in good hands is a complete nightmare. What other classes? Awakening Megu, Awakening Sage, Deadeye, Succession Dosa has been seen some rising on the damage hand of sides. How should these damage classes how should they be addressed, right? Because we also have the cases of Archer that got recent changes and buffs. but we also see that normally the classes that are on top of the node wars, like Succession Ranger, they're supposed to be the classes that get the kills, right? But in what extent do they become like super OP, and they should have like an opportunity to be countered played, right? How would we address this situation?
Honestly, in my opinion, they should just buff the classes that are weak in, like, let's say, like as I said, because I was here once before, no class should be good in all PvP scenarios. Like, for example, right now, Deadeye really good in 1v1s because grabs are dead, so you can't grab the thing, which makes zero sense. But so I think that should be like looked upon. For example, now we have the grab change, so full SA is way more valuable than frontal guard classes. Like, full SA classes are at the moment at the top. So basically just address that by either changing some SA to frontal guard. And when it comes to large scale, I would say just there are some classes that have fallen out of the meta for so long, like for example Awakening Guardian. Like, I mean, Awakening Guardian is probably the biggest thing. Like, the class has not existed in large scale for way too long, but it's because it's too slow, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And it is too like immobile. Even if it's in super armor, it just will die in mass PvP because it cannot instantly move while doing its abilities. So it just would need a change.
I agree.
You saying like I see Axel typing, my good friend. You also have like Awakening Corsair, which was really strong back in the days, and it's dead because of the amount of nerfs.
Yep.
Yeah, I would
It's not a
say
very
that
popular class.
I would say that the weaker classes on the weaker side that are not played would need buffs instead of the top classes needing nerf, except let's say not Sucksage, Suckhash.
Sucksage actually is doing quite a lot of damage, I'd say.
Yeah, but people are still not playing it. Like,
Yep.
Deadeye and Suckhash are probably the biggest DPS issues. I would say I want to also put in Megu here, but with the
Succession
amount of
or
Awakening.
Okay.
Awakening. I would also want to put Awakening Megu here, but the issue is that Awakening Megu works if you are playing a front. Like, Awakening Megu catches you in FG. Like, that's its biggest gimmick, right? It has the block jump that sees you. So honestly, if we have a meta right now to play fully SA classes, I don't think Awakening Megu is as strong as people want it to be. In small scale, it is really strong because, I mean, you will have to use a frontal guard either way, and the good Megus will find it out. But yeah, in large scale, I wouldn't say Awakening Megu is as strong.
Yeah, there's certain scenarios where these classes sort of will shine. That's for sure.
Yep.
But let's talk about. I want to do a comparison here with Deadeye and with Succession Ranger. Because of course we can talk about a lot of classes, but I want to sort of get this idea. Succession Ranger is a DPS class that she's always gonna be getting kills because she brings the DPS, she brings the long distance range damage. So surely she should shine in those sort of scenarios. But whenever you get into a 3v3 or 1v1, that class actually just downfalls super hard because she's not good at it. She's not protected enough to survive somebody being on top of her. But in the case of Deadeye, I think that at least on EU, I don't know if in MENA or NA or any other regions is becoming this popular. All these people are trying to get into Deadeye because it's a super easy class to play and it gives a very big reward. In a lot of scenarios, like actually in 1v1, the class is super good, as Neri mentioned, because grabs are sort of, nerfed in a way. You actually cannot CC because this class, unless you play it wrong, she's not going to get CC'd. And she's still doing that giga amount of damage. So what I want to say with this, I think that whenever there's a class that it's supposed to be DPS, high damage dealing, they should have a way to punish so that the damage is still there, but it gets rewarded with good positioning. But in the case of Deadeye, that's unexistent. She doesn't have the gap, so she cannot get punished, and she's mostly gonna win the trades even with good assassin classes. How could you guys see this differentiation? Should we make Deadeye less protected while she's being in? How do you guys feel about this class?
I mean, as I said, the issue are her protections, and that's 99% of the class's issues, that it's fully SA when the grabs are non-existent. You don't like, sure, you have now the grab protection that even though if you miss the grab, you have the SA part, but good players will still CC you in the grab animation. So you can't grab her because it's too risky. So the only thing you can do is SA Trader, and there's not that many classes that will SA Trader. Like,
Yeah. Like, I mean, not only that, I'm expecting some kind of huge SA remove from game, from the PP balance. Because they just changed to grabs. Grab is some kind of clunky move right now. It's an instantly bomb grab, or, decent grab is pretty hard in these days. So just remove all the super armor, so we'll try to use our CCs, protected or unprotected. I'm not just talking about that. If someone wants to damage me, it shouldn't be full SA. Like, he's just, bam, 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 but she's just, there I just bam, 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 targeting you, aiming you, AoE just damaging you, but she's not sacrificing anything. Super armor, that's just moving around. While she's moving around, you can grab her, but you're dying slowly. Your HP is just decreasing, and there's nothing you can do. Same for the Sakdosa. He's dancing around you with full SA. There are lots of broken, like Sakdosa has broken stronger than any grab right now. The RMB, I think it was Vega Shaft or something, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
that
the
skill.
TP dash.
Yeah, TP dash and iframe SA KD. You can't even react it. And these type of things are breaking the game. I'm trying to point out that Sakdosa's broken CC for like a year from the release. Like the C skill, for example. He's just pressing C. It's super armor in animation. It creates a... You think that you're safe in S block or any block, Q block. A pet just appears behind of you. Pet just, pokes you. You knocked back. Imagine a pet appears behind of you to CC you. And instantly after that, he's just pressing RMB. And this cycle is every 6 seconds. This is more, like, this is stronger than any grab in the game. More dangerous than any grab. Because it is 6 seconds. He's trying it in every 6 seconds. And he's losing nothing while he's doing that. Nothing. Literally, he's sacrificing nothing. And also, he's full SA. He has other protected SA KD 360. Like, there are lots of things in the broken and skill kit. Like in Deadeye, 360 stuns or something like that, moving around. She looks in front of you, but you just get CC'd in S block or something because she's behind of you or something like that. Lots of protections. So they shouldn't be, in 1 versus 1 may be acceptable, but in large scale, they shouldn't be allowed to these unique things. So remove all the SAs, like most of the SAs and the kits, like they did on Dracania. Now you cannot just dance in the middle of the people with Dracania, and I'm happy for that. Any class shouldn't be allowed to dance in the middle of the fight. If the guy is dancing in the middle of the fight, shouldn't be able to deal giga damage or also shitting around with super armor CC, because grabs are bad right now. Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw this question for you guys, Computer and Chicken, because you guys have been very, you guys are old players. You've been in this sort of, you've seen the metas evolve throughout the video's history. Would you guys say it was funnier when people had gaps to go for and punish? Or do you guys think that it's funnier? Because I could see it. Like, you are a recent joined video player, you're new, you want to be safe, you want to get the plays, you want to get the kills, and you're safer, you are in SA. But is that playstyle funnier? Do you enjoy it more? Or would you guys prefer to go back into the good old days where everyone had their frontal skills and gaps and that you could punish? What would you guys say?
I think it depends on what you prefer to play, honestly. It's, I think like this is better for large scale, but it makes like if you like to 1v1 in BA, for example, if you like to do AOS and like smaller scale, full protected meta feels way worse, obviously. But I think in large scale, it was also extremely frustrating to be getting randomly CC'd from render distance by an archer, for example, like non-stop. I feel like that's part of the reason they started giving protection to everyone, is because if you don't have these protections, what's going to happen is that you're going to be trying to shield, waiting for an engage, and then suddenly an archer will see a lot of render distance. Awakening Nova back then would engage you from render distance, and you couldn't even react because you couldn't see her, right? I think that's part of the reason why they started giving SA rotations to everyone.
What do you think, Comp? What did you prefer?
I basically agree with Chicken for the most part. I don't think what I said is wrong. I do think they need to remove some SA from some classes, or maybe make the first classes that can move from A to B like in super speed. And yet that was like Dracania. One of the reasons Dracania was OP in my opinion. Because she has like shitloads of SA, shitloads of damage, and can engage out of render distance pretty much.
Mm.
And you couldn't really CC that class. And you have the same issue with Deadeye right now. It has really good movement. I mean, even Ranger, Sack Ranger have very good movement. Not as good, but it's still very good movement.
Okay.
And if you nerf either the movement or the SA, that should fix the issue, right? Because they're also range class. I mean, when Sack Mega was released, also it was super broken because it has shitloads of SA, forward guards. You just blast from range and you have the damage. And then it was nerfed. They just removed some SA, they removed some damage, which was needed. And now the class is, I would say, more balanced than it was. More balanced than most of the Ash or even Sack Ranger.
At least we can say Sack Mago is just shining at large scale mostly. It used to be.
Yep. I have seen a very good Succession Magus on EU, on Guild Leagues, and in Node Wars, and they are actually pulling good numbers. They're doing good. Like, if a player with good hands is on that class with the clones and that, it's a little bit of a pain. It's like, actually, they can do things. It's an actually very good class.
Yes, it's still very good class, but what I mean is it's more balanced than it used to be.
Exactly.
Because you can actually CC it out of render distance with if there's an archer, ranger, whatever. Someone who can actually close the gap, even Ash, right? If you have block jump or whatever, you can CC the class. And that's an issue that other classes do not have. They don't have these gaps.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But yeah, we can talk a little bit about the caps changes on the Node Wars. You guys have done some of the Node Wars with the new caps. You guys know, like tier 2, tier 1, they've changed the numbers for the people. How are you guys feeling on those? Are they fun? Is people more tanky now?
We've done mostly tier 2, personally. I haven't done tier 1, but I just shared some stories about tier 1, but I'll talk about tier 2. For tier 2, it's more tankier in a good way, in my opinion. I haven't heard many complaints about it either. I mean, it still was like, 2 Node Wars since then, so I don't have that much experience. But overall, it seems more balanced. Like, Ash cannot just jump into a blob and kill everyone in like 2 skills. It doesn't seem to happen as often anymore. People are a bit more tankier, so it's in tier 2, it's a bit of a better change.
Okay.
For tier 1, I heard a lot of complaints about being too tanky, but again, I personally do not have the experience there, so I don't know. But I personally like the tier 2 changes.
Okay. You said, Chicken, that you didn't test anything on the new caps, right?
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay.
Chicken
Have you done?
Node Wars, and I mean, my alliance only does uncapped, so but I know from friends in capped, like in people that do go capped, that the changes are not good. Like, they're not enjoying the cap changes. I think tier 4 and tier 3.
I mean, I think it would be fun if they had increased the DR, but they also increased the evasion for some. They reduced the accuracy. It wasn't even increasing. It's the same thing, right? I think that's what made everyone extremely more tanky.
Okay.
I mean, it could
Yeah, go computing. You can go.
It could be that some classes just struggle with accuracy, right? Like,
It shouldn't be the case anymore, though, right? Because they kind of unified that recently.
yes, but I know that Sage, for example, doesn't struggle at all in tier 2 when it comes to accuracy. But I did feel accuracy issue on Awakened Witch, for example.
I mean, I just don't understand why they keep like changing shit that doesn't need to be changed.
Because
in
they're
a
bored.
sense.
That's-
Yeah. Like people
Like
are
that.
enjoying the caps and they go like, yeah, nope. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to enjoy the game.
Good. Come on, Cap. It's the funnier version. Come on. Cap.
I just don't like that. Like they always touch stuff that doesn't need to be touched, and then what needs to be changed they don't. Like it's always the same shit, man. It gets frustrating after a while.
Remember about the PvP changes we were supposed to get? Good times.
No. I mean, they definitely arrive in this September, right? They are done with the Edania.
Surely.
They are not done with the PV balancing, right? Surely they come in this month. Surely they come.
Legit, like the global patch when they nerf grabs, they were like, okay, this is the start. They nerf grabs. The next week, guys, we have to do some unannounced PvE changes because of something. And they just started doing PvE changes for no reason.
Lafonda says in chat that in tier 1, people are generally not dying. Unless it's a Musha ass or Sakdu, so pretty much.
I mean, tier 1 was always tankier than tier 2, from
Yes.
what I can remember, right?
Yes,
So,
yes. And they made
it even tankier now, so...
Yeah.
Okay. But we can move from the topic unless, Quenya, have you done any capped node wars? Do you have anything to add into
tier
the capped
1 is
node wars?
no, it's not in my case. Like we do uncapped or sometimes maybe tier 2.
Okay.
No tier 1.
Okay. If you guys agree, then we can move into the next topic, which will be the Edana tournament. I know Chicken has released a video, which was very entertaining to hear some point of views on how this tournament works. But we can talk about the current format of this tournament. I can give it to you, Chicken, if you want to explain how the current system of the tournament works. You can go ahead and sort of try to explain how it's working currently.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was unmuted. So
Yeah.
right now, every week on each castle, so there's 3 castles, right? Every week, the 7 people that have the most gear that queued up for that castle will be picked to fight on the tournament, and then 3 people at random from the rest will also be picked. So your chance of getting in on the EU server is basically, if you don't have like the IS gear on your castle, your chance of getting in is negative. You're probably looking at a 1% or lower. And then the problem also continues into the fight itself. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the videos of people, just trying to run away, not actually PvPing, which is supposed to be the point of the game mode. People just run away and try to get an HP win. And we did talk about that before the system released. But the HP win obviously doesn't make sense. But PA didn't see it that way, unfortunately. I don't know. Overall, the system, I think, is just really badly designed. The only cool thing about it is the fact that if you win, you get to be the owner of a region for a week. I think that's the only good part right now.
Do we think that the concept in itself it's good? Would you guys say that it's good design? Like it's appealing to go for?
I mean, it's RNG if you get in or you don't. Like, that's the issue. So you can go for it, but 90% of the community will not do this game mode. They just won't get in.
It's RNG. It doesn't tell you early enough if you get in, and it's also very class dependent. Like for me, I didn't go in. I'm not gonna go in as a Awakened Witch. Like, what am I gonna do?
I mean, you're there so people can kill someone,
Yeah, exactly.
That's your point. That's why you exist. Someone needs to die.
looking
get
at
it.
it from like I don't know limit. So basically, we're gonna have 5 castles, right? The last castle,
Mhm.
basically, maybe 10 people on you will be able. Maybe I don't see it being filled up in the first week. I don't see it being even possible to actually do it in the first week. Maybe Ledak with Feet and Armors, yeah, maybe. But like even Karshan is gonna be hard for some people to get into. Just the issue is that let's say okay, we're in the stage of the game where everybody like there's a lot of people that can do each castle. So we have 5 people, so you have 50 people from the entire EU region, NA region, etc. Like 50 people from each region that can actually do this content, right? Every week, and what's it called? 15 of them are RNG. So yeah, like this content is basically people either will just do the boss and not click the thing to actually apply to it because they realize there's basically 0 chance I get into it because everybody has to do this boss. So everybody that does a boss will click the will click like the seal to go into to actually fight. So it's not that it's voluntarily signed up, it's basically kind of forcing you to sign up because you will just click it because hey, I might as well get it. Even though like we had the clips from last week from the first castle. Person I know is the owner, so we had a clip of Awakening Hash seeing him and just walking up to him, doing nothing else because he's a PV player. The guy sees
Isn't he on Apex though? No, the guy was on Apex. That's a PvP guild though.
Okay, that's even worse. But
yeah,
like,
that's a PvP guild.
That's even worse. But it just shows you that I'm like the type of people that get in there, right? It's supposed to be a PvP game mode that is dictated by how much you PvE in the end, because gear score wins and HP pool wins, right? So even if you're fighting, by the way, if you have the 4K health pot, you can be down HP, and at the last second, you pop the 4K health pot, you're 100%, and you just automatically win. It doesn't make sense. Like, the game mode itself just doesn't make sense.
Also, about that video, it could be that it's his tag character, because what if his main character is not really good in 1v1 or small scale?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I can see myself. I did sign up for this week, but I'm going as Scholar. I'm not going as Awakened Witch. I'm not going as Sulk, even though Sulk is kind of broken. But I'm going as a Scholar, and I have no clue about a class. I'm gonna do the same shit, man. I'm gonna doubly walk into a CC.
Yeah. So, like, the game mode needs drastic changes to even be looked at. Like, for example, War of Roses was called the biggest PvE game, the PvE PvP game mode we had, and this new Edana Throne game mode just took that spot, in my opinion. Like,
Oh god.
you have to PvE like a lot to get in. Like Orbita Castle, if you're not full deck, you're not getting in. Like maybe you get RNG chosen, right?
I mean, next week's probably gonna be better though, right? Because a lot of people are moving up to Karshan and the Kafros, but still hard to get in.
Exactly.
I mean, as you said, a lot of people are like signing up by accident too, and then not showing up. I don't know if you brought that point up. It's like literally people not showing up to the fights in NA and EU, like on the multiple castles. So that's an issue for sure. But in general, I think PA fucked up because they kind of thought, oh, this is a game mode for everyone and for PvE players and stuff. Not everyone wants to do this, right? But the people that want to do it right now can't. So I feel like that's a huge issue in the first place. Because like the people that don't want to do it are getting picked, and the people that do want to do it are just like looking. Nah, they can't even look because there's no spectate, but still.
I think one of the biggest points that this tournament has to be fixed is exactly on the registration procedure. There definitely has to be a way in which, with a good amount of time that you are going to be the chosen one. And there has to be like a double confirmation that you're going to sign up in like, let's say 30 minutes, something before the tournament happens. So that if in those 30 minutes you don't show up, other people have the chance to jump in, right? Because if not, we've seen, I think it was the NA Orbita fight. It was like 4 people, 6 no-shows. I think Bicep showed it on stream. I think that's just poor design, and that's just sad, right? Because I want to be there, but I can't because there's 6 people that actually decide to not show.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you don't show up, you need to get banned, just like in War of the Roses, by the way.
yeah.
In War of the
100%.
Roses, you get a 2-month. You get a 2-month ban. You should get as well if you don't show up for this shit.
It can be also silver loss. If I'll sign up for like I don't fucking know, 1 billion, and then you get the billion back if you showed up.
The thing
they
is, the
did.
roses ban works so well because it's every 2 weeks, so you're out of a lot of roses actually. So I think they should also implement the same ban for the Edana
Yep.
tournament. Like if you don't show up, you're
Okay.
gone for a month. Boom. Like, and then it will make people wake up that, yo, if I'm actually in the thing, I should be in the thing and not dodge.
The thing is, they already have it in the game. I don't know if you guys remember, but like few years back when they did the official PvP tournaments, they forced us to buy a ticket for, I don't
Yes.
remember how much it was, but they forced us to buy a ticket. We bought a ticket, and if you didn't show up, you just lose the money. If you did show up, you get your silver back. And I
Yep.
think that would solve a lot of the no-show issues.
I mean, silver nowadays is not like they think it would have to cost, let's say, like 10 bill silver. Then yeah, people would probably
Sure, but it's still a thing, right? Like, even if it costs 10 billion silver.
Oh wait, I remember we were watching. I think it was InstaWolf on the first week, and the guy was grinding, and he didn't want to go to the tournament. Like he literally on stream didn't want to go to the tournament, but we had to bully him on the chat to show us how it was. Like we literally had to go on his stream to force him to go into that shit. And he went in with like PV crystals or some shit. Like I don't know. People are just signing up without actually wanting to go, either by accident or because they can. I think the system overall, like, is just, I don't know. There's so much wrong with it right now, basically.
Okay. But for the sign up part, I think it's very clear. There has to be a penalty for not showing up. And definitely it has to be more. You have to know with more time that you're going to be the one chosen. For example, I have my schedule of the entire month. I know that only on one of the Sundays I'm going to be able to show up to the tournament. So I'm not going to click on the badge to actually show up. I know that I'm not going to show up, so I just don't click it, right?
Oh, so you're only going to experience it in like 10 years.
Yeah,
with
that's
the current
it.
RNG.
That's it. So, yeah. Do you agree with this part, Quenya? You didn't say pretty much anything. How would you do the sign up thingy?
Like, even with my gear, I couldn't just join Orbita, and I hate this situation. Like, I have one no armor, and then for 2 weeks I didn't go there, and for the third week, maybe I can go this time. I have no idea. And the application method, I'm not. Like, maybe they can just, make the pool a little bit bigger, because day by day people will get more gear. We're talking about Orbita. But Orbita will be turned into some kind of okay spot for most of the players, if they call them veteran. Now it's hard, I know, but after 3 months, Orbita will be like Nymphomare or Aetherian Castle, because it's time gated. If the not time gated, and there will be like maybe instead of 20 people right now, let's say that 20, 30 people apply that, there will be like 100 people apply that. So instead of 7 top gear and 3 random, they can go for like 25 top gear, 5 random, or 15 random, I don't know. So more people should go in there. They can maybe create 4 different rooms. For example, current rooms are created for 10 people, isn't it? 10 people go in, fight, and 1 is being ready to fight against Edana. And then they can do this, for example, 4 different rooms. And then after that, the winners will fight against each other, 4 people. And then the winner of the 4 people will fight with Edana. They can do that thing. Because right now, it's not that much problem. But day by day, more people will start to say, what is this? I have enough gear. Like, with 1 gear score, I couldn't get the Orbita or something. That guy with a random RNG, he just has worse gear than me, but he is in. People will start to complain a lot. I believe more people should be able to go in. That's what I'm thinking. They can just decide the numbers. I'm totally fine with them. They can even make, for example, 100 people 80 of them like top gear and 20 of them random. They can even do that, like randomly rooms appears. You can just choose which room you are, and you're gonna fight with against who. They can create some kind of UI like War of the Roses, and you can fight against each other in 10 room. Like there'll be one winner, and those 10 people fight against each other, and then the winner of the 10 people, and then fight against the Edana. So this can be some kind of good thing for future. Like, I don't know, it's coming from my nature of being content creator or something. When I try to just think something, I'm forcing myself to think for future also. There'll be more people than you can imagine for this content. They will complain a lot. There should be reason. There should be reason for people, like people asking this question for over years, isn't it? I'm making gear. I'm like getting lots of gear right now. I'm hard kept for over 2 years, and what is this for? I can't even join the fun content every week, PvP content. Like, instead of just making game full PvE oriented, at least people should be able to join there. And then they fight at some kind of mini, I don't know, for sure tournament just happens in there, and the winner will fight against Edana. Then it can be good. I don't know.
I don't know if any of you watched the Chicken video, but for me, I think Chicken explained it the best way. Pretty much that's all I have to say. He explained it the best way.
It's a good take on the Chicken video, and I will give it to you, Chicken, because there's also this topic, which is it too restricted? Should it be more accessible for more people? Do we all think that it should be like, as we've been saying, 100 people for each castle, 30 per castle? How much do you say? I think you explained it a lot on your video, but you can go into it if you want, Chicken.
Yeah. I mean, on the video I explained, I gave an example with like 300 people, right? But it's pretty much what Quendia said, is like dividing people in groups and then letting them play the game, right? I think the problem is that right now we're not able to all go into the content. I think it needs to be way more accessible to everyone in general. I think that's a big concern. But I don't know. Like the difference to what Kondi is saying is that I was thinking more on a scalable way, right? Where if 100 people signed up, all 100 would get in, and if 1,000 people sign up, all 1,000 would get in, for example, and maybe limit at 1,000, so it's only 3 rounds of fights. But in general, they need to do something about the amount of people that can get into this content, because as Kondi said, you wait like maybe half a year more when most player bases that are in mid game start to get to end game, and they'll start complaining more than we are complaining right now. Because right now the people complaining are the end game players. When the mid game players start getting to this content, they will be complaining a lot if they can't even try it out, in my opinion.
I agree. Like, it has to be special, right? It has to be something that it's sort of new, but it has to be possible to actually get to make it. So we could be talking about maybe free-for-all arena of 30, 50 people for every castle. Would you guys say that would be even better than what we have? How would you guys do it? What would be your perfect format for this tournament?
I mean, I wouldn't even have it like it is right now on free-for-all. I don't know. I thought of like multiple ways. On my video, I kept the free-for-all because that's what they wanted. But if you ask multiple people, they will give you different answers. I've seen people wanting a 1v1 tournament, but that will probably take a long time, right? I've seen people asking for Guild League kind of content, where instead of being one Edana, it would be a guild controlling the region, right? But I think that one will also not work very well because people would just avoid fighting each other. You already know that's how it works. That's what's going to happen. I think Guild League would be horrible because people would just not fight each other. And the last one would be, and this is what was something I was thinking on stream, and it's dumb, but it's what I would personally want. I would
Mhm.
literally just put 50 people on the Shadow Arena match and tell them, have fun and live.
That's true. Bring back Shadow
Unironically, I would
Arena.
just do that.
True. Shadow Arena.
For each castle, right? Like 50 Shadow
Yeah.
Arena
Yeah,
mode to
like you just
decide.
put them on the Shadow Arena match, have fun. Like I think Shadow Arena was just fun because it was the most volatile. It wasn't the best player that was guaranteed to win on that game mode. It wasn't. If you play it for like a pussy, hiding until the end, you're gonna lose. 100% you're gonna lose because you're not gonna have the gear to win at the end. So I felt like it was like the most volatile. Everyone had the chance to win if they knew some PvP, and it was just a fun game mode back then. So ideally, I would just implement that, but I know that's not gonna happen. They're gonna keep the free for all. That's
Okay.
why I gave feedback on the free for all on the video.
Okay. Nidhi, what do you think? What would be your ideal format for this tournament?
Okay, the 10 people don't like it doesn't work if you divide it in, like, let's say a tournament format that you have like first group of 10 people, then the next, that could possibly work, but that would take too long if you're talking about having an Edana swap every week. It would have to like happen in like days in the week, not in the weekend. The guild one works, but a lot of people would, as Chicken said, would not fight each other if it meant that much. Like even in guild league, if you have a point advantage and it's like, let's say 15 seconds on the clock, you scream to your teammate, just don't die. Just run and don't die if you're winning. So that does happen.
Okay.
There is no like if it's that limited and it's that RNG to get into. Like for example, roses is not an issue because you have 300 people that can get in on each side. So on you, for example, you will find that player. Or like, well, no, sorry, it's 200 people. 300. Yeah,
Okay.
so that works. But the fact that it's 10 people for 5 castles, soon to be 5
Yeah.
castles, so 50 people, it's just bad. The idea behind the game is bad in itself. Like, having new castles, like owner of a region, is cool because it's the new, like, instead of having a siege where only X amount of guilds can participate or alliances, you have that you yourself can participate, but you can't do it because you won't get picked. So what's the point of doing it?
Yeah. I get it.
They just don't. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah. I see. What castle are you doing, computer? What are you doing? Are you doing Rusalka? Are you aiming for
I
Orbita?
came back
Ensler?
recently. I don't have gear. I have to do the first one. I don't have
Yeah,
the
I
DP.
know.
Computer only
DP
plays
is
Captain you,
pain.
bro.
The DP is really a pain, and then I really hate the weekly. I don't know why they designed it as a weekly thing. I don't know if you have a point to talk about it later, but
We can talk about that. Sure.
gategating so hard. How am I supposed to progress? What if I'm unlucky and dancing?
Yeah. So looking at I understand the frustration with the time gate, but it is made to prolong the content in the game. The time gating in video is strictly to prolong content. Like, and it has been like that since forever.
Although in this case, I do think that time gating was a good choice because I see them as like later they probably remove the time gate later on, and if you don't remove the time gate, you know what would happen? People like Choice, Leduc, all of these people would be running around on full Oct or Nov armor, and they would be even more unkillable. You would be because we didn't talk about this earlier when we were talking about the tank meta. But if you give a couple more months, everyone is gonna have like 40 more DR than they had before the patch, right? Like it's gonna be incredible stat check
and also
in
like
that sense.
2k HP.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's
true. I do like that they
about
cap the content for now. I know that eventually they're gonna remove the time gates on the armors as a catch-up mechanic. Like 100%, they're gonna do that.
You're so right. I completely forgot about it. There was a post from a very noticeable Awakening Sage player that I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, in which he speaks about how much AP there was in the game and how it should be addressed. And like I get it. Like people right now are feeling more squishy, specifically if you're not playing a tank class. But we have to have in mind that whenever we reach certain levels on our armors, it's gonna change quite a bit because the DP defensive stats are gonna keep increasing, and we will see a difference on that. So I would enforce everyone to just wait, let's say 2 months until Calvin Ball, and let's see how the discussion ends up, right? Do we agree that we have to see the progression in order to, say that there's too much AP? Because if we think about it, everyone has the max possible AP in their hands right now. Look at Wendia. He's full 395 AP, which is the maximum, and we have it already. It's accessible right now. But it's not the same case as the defensive stats. There's going to be a progression into that, and we will see how it's evolved. Right?
Yep.
I also have something to that, like mostly for Quint, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that you basically have to wait a week to get any progression done? It doesn't matter if you grind or not. You can just log off for the week and come back in the next week.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Wendia?
Me right now is I'm a content creator, but if I weren't a content creator, probably I would feel a little bit desperate. You know, you just kill the boss, you just hit mobs a little bit, get the cronstones you will need for the next weeks. Like let's say the 10k cronstones, you make 30 bill. 30 bill is not problem for endgame players right now. I can make it in 10 hours. It's just like so monotone. Like it's also good in a one way, but if you're casual, it's good. But if you're a casual, how can be like 750 or more gear score? Casual cannot reach that maybe in 8 years, maybe. But the time gate thing, how am I feeling? Like it's good for newbies, returnees, and mid game players. They're being able to catch us. And they're giving lots of ways. For the first time of the history, PA just gave to the veterans a proper content. Normally, when they just create a content, a little bit, byte this to the veterans, byte 1 byte to veterans, and the remaining part of the huge stack is just for early and mid game players. And everything is just they did for sucking cock of early game and mid game players. But for the first time of the history, they just gave like big part of the portion of the stack to the veterans, and a small portion of the stack is to the early and mid game players. I'm not saying that early and mid game players are just feeling bad. They have lots of catch mechanics in the game right now. If you just go to the early game and mid game players, if you check the incomes of the sports, even in season, people getting 2 billions per hour. Like in mid game players, they're pushing the limits of 3 billions. I am making almost the same money in an endgame sport. So, like I've seen lots of complaints about. PA did a very big mistake because the Edania is mostly for 1% of the game, and 99% of the game is just sad. Shut the fuck up and just get better. Okay, at that point, they just limiting you. They just limiting us. They did lots of things to the veterans. Finally, they gave some kind of my gear finally means something. I am capable to do that, but some other people cannot. Like, they just bring Ulukita. After 2 months, fucking mid-game players will be able to grind there. They just bring some Orzekia. Now, like, 740, 750 players easily can grind there because they change spot. So, time gate is good to sucking cock of early game players, and also they're not just making everything consumed by the end game players or the veterans. I have millions cronstones sitting in my storage because I one tap deck. It's another thing, but I would have, like, even if I wouldn't just one tap it, I would have it. I would have more cronstones again. I would just regularly play in this game. I would have more. But the thing is, the thing is, something is stopping me, and early and mid game players can catch me. But I'm not, complaining about the time gate that much. Because there are contents and I can do other things. They're slowing us down. Instead of consuming everything in 2 weeks, the huge content, I would rather to consume it in 2 years. That's what I'm thinking, because it will take long time, at least a year to reach full no gear, full no armor. even with
Mhm.
you know, Kafras boss, I believe, because it's getting
You
harder
said
and harder.
that mid-game players can catch up to you, but I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, I don't think I'm a
Mhm.
mid-game player. I have mostly end-game gear when it comes to AP, but when it comes to DP, like, I'm stuck, and I don't think I will ever catch up to Choice, to you, or to anyone who actually did the second or third castle on day one, because I had to do the castle, the first castle. I'm
The-
so far behind right now, and I don't have a way to catch up.
No. It's
I
like
mean-
the last castle is not 490 DP. It's 460. You can easily
It's
catch it.
3 a week, and you cannot get to the third castle without having, or you couldn't get to the
You need
first
the
castle
deck
without
weapons, yeah.
Yeah, and a pen fallen god.
No, you don't need Pen Fallen God.
on
You can
day one,
exchange
yes.
your
No, but
armors.
later you won't
On
need.
day
Later
one,
you
on
need
day one.
tats. Yeah. I get
I'm
what you
talking
mean.
about
It
day
means
one.
that he's getting like less stones, so he's falling behind. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
He's getting
I'm
less stones
falling
per
more
week.
behind than
But I don't feel like it's. I don't feel like that's an
I don't
issue.
think that's like an
in-
issue. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's not an issue.
Okay.
Because
Like,
if the Kafra's castle would just ask from you the highest DP in the game, you would be. I would agree with you. But it's 460 DP is reachable if you are veteran.
Mm.
Yes.
At some point you
Yeah.
will get it, but
The
not
DP
like day
is
one is gonna
reachable,
be
but
the
the AP
complex
is
The
the
one.
deck
issue.
the deck weapons are more of a challenge than the DP is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
for sure.
The deck
Yeah.
weapons are the issue.
So there is no cap on
Um,
deck weapon. PA is just saying that go grind, get Cron Stones. If you want, you do pay to win. If you want, you buy it from NPC. Get your weapons. I think that's what PA wants from us.
Yeah.
The one issue
I was gonna say,
have with-
Quandia,
Hmm?
you have like a very good progression way of just going for Pen Fallons. You don't need to
Yeah.
log off.
Yeah, you can
just
do
go
that
for the
too.
Pen Fallons
Uh,
and take like the 1 trillion silver loss of
Yeah.
enhancing the Edana armor yourself. You know.
No, like how much? If you do for all of the armors tats, can you reach the 460?
You
Tat
can.
or
You
pen?
can.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
reaching
It was 10, I'm
tat.
pretty sure.
Of course, it takes time, but if you can kill Orbita, 3 stones per. Also, they decrease the Orbita's DP requirements. If I'm not wrong, it's
Yeah. I
445.
mean, I think, Quendi, I think I'm gonna get the DP first, and I'm gonna get the AP because my weapons are fucking in a shit spot right now. I have an X offhand and a Oct main end. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be full tat armors before I get double decks. You know, so I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
be able to do Kafras still when that happens.
The weapons are the issue, also not the
Yeah.
armors itself. The thing with Edana that people don't realize is right now we already have an item in the grind spots that is not worth anything. Like not silent, but the distorted stones.
Yeah,
that you drop,
the
right?
pity
It's
the pity
worth
clicks.
nothing. Yeah, there's 1.5k full stone sitting on you already. Like, it's already an item that will sell maybe once every 2 weeks. Really nice. Another thing is, on EU right now, there's like 1.9k to 2k end times selling every single day. Those are also going to start sitting with the new spots also coming out and potentially dropping more, because that is also money, right? So Edania right now is either Debos, which on cheap as
You're on
hell,
shambles. Yeah, you're on shambles.
and trash loot, and maybe Kafras, but Kafras also is cheap. So like
Yeah.
the spots itself are going to be already saturated. Like, you're only making good money because the trash loot is worth good money, which in my opinion is a big issue. Like, look for example on you, and I know on an A because Grimkill is grinding what's it called, the DSR all the time. Like, they're already, the origins are already like going up, and right on you they're also started going. Like, this, funny enough, the spots that we think are not in the top like 1, because I would say DSR is like top 3, top 4 spot, are going to get stronger because people are like, you're basically inclined to move to Edania to get your new upgrades right now because end times are not sitting. But when end times will sit, there's a high chance that if you want to earn the most silver in the game and you want to get that silver like every hour you do, you will go to spots like Orzekia or DSR. Like, there's a high chance that will happen again.
But then the void gems will also drop in price, and
Exactly.
Orzeki money will drop in price. I think it just like balances out. It's always like that. The video market is not an issue in that sense, right?
I mean, look
Like-
how long DSR Origins have sat on the market. Like, sure, you were selling 900 a day, but there was like what 12K sitting. Like, if you granted DSR, you would, if you didn't use your Origins, they would just sit in the market for 2 weeks.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing, guys, because we're talking about DSR, we're talking about the potential spots for Edania to be a thing so that you get your upgrades. We're talking about Orsekia. I don't remember, maybe because my memory is completely bad, but I don't remember these many grind spots being on the menu for a long time. Isn't that good? Like having a, if you want money, you go here. If you want your upgrades, you go here. If you want enhancement, you go here. You have multiple options. The
Yeah.
only thing that we don't have is party content, right? Party zones for PvE. But that's another whole conversation. There's plenty of spots that, depending on what you want, you go there. For me personally, I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that before as well, right? I mean, you could always, I don't know. I personally would rotate between 4 or 5 spots of grinding. I wouldn't always grind on the same spot. Like, I hate grinding on the same spot for too long. Although
I
right now
kinda-
I feel forced to run. Right now I feel forced to run Orbita, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just feel.
same.
Everyone is sitting.
I hate.
Yeah.
I really like the situation of the diversity of PV. In before there was Starzend, there was Cycraya, there was Tungladrins, there was Darkseeker Street, and there is no other place you could do money. Now you can go Ashvarus Dekia too. If you need to your Dekia artifact and also a little bit money nearby that, go Dekia Ashvarus Dekia 2 or Olun if you have party. Party situation is a little bit different there. If you need fail stack, everyone needs fail stack. Go at stay time, stay on Tungrats and the Darkseeker Street for 1,000 hours. I'm just suggesting people to go there because you will need thousands of the fail stack items hungers. Because I'm a veteran right now, I started to use 300 fail stack for after try armors. Try, Tets, Pen, Hex, Sept, Oct, No, Deck. Like it's 8 levels. Yeah, for 8 levels for each armor, I will use 300, and you have 4 armors, and it's 32 300 fail stack.
That's
For
a lot of
only armors.
materials, that's for sure.
Yeah, for only armors that I will need. So even an endgame player can go there because we will need the fail stack item. They are sitting on min price, but day by day, it will just, if PA just stop bring that pay to win boxes because they're just destroying the hunger market, it will just bring some kind of balance to the Tungrat ruins, for example. Let's say that you can sell hungers in a mid price. It's huge, income boost for Tungrats, for DSR. They're already offering you a good amount of money, and imagine you can sell a mid price, even max price. Can you imagine that you can sell the hungers for 4 billion? That will be amazing, isn't it? Like it just makes
so
DSR's
good.
income directly 4 billions or something. So 6 billions or something per hour. That can happen if PA stop to bring those pay to win boxes, because those pay to win hungers is just creating pressure on the market. Never mind, that's another thing. If you need right now crystals at end time, you go Orbita or something. So the diversity in PV is nice, and day by day it will get better. What I understand from PA, and I think even now it's good. I'm suggesting people go what you need, go grind what you need, and then you will feel okay. I don't know what you guys think.
Nita, you were gonna say something.
I mean, spot diversity is good. We went from, as Quintus said back in the day, Stars and Oluns, normal Oluns, if people remember.
Oof.
Sikraya, my beloved. We were then
Yeah.
went into Serendia Elvia, so we went from the best spot being
Orcs, too.
Orcs, which
Yeah.
everybody sat there. Then we went into Calphion Elvia, which we had actually technically all spots were viable, though trolls were broken for the first week because of Shy. Hexa was really good. I would say spot diversity has been a thing always. Just the main issue was, of course, income. But right now, the one issue I have with Edania is that, as said in chat, it is finite content. Like your main money is the trash loot when the items will start sitting. And I'm talking about EU because I don't know about. I know NA's market is different. CA market. But yeah, just end times will start sitting. The sorted stones are already sitting, so your money will be Capras plus trash loot, nothing else. Or maybe end times, like rarely when the new players, even though we don't have a lot of them, when the new players start catching up, right? So it's just you're basically just gonna be done.
Yeah, we will see
No,
how
end times are
everything
not
goes.
already sitting on you, but they will start sitting on you really soon. Like, sure, we still have 20k PRs, but we're selling almost 2k a day, right? So, with part 1 being fully released, I expect them to be sitting in maybe a month or two.
Okay.
Like, there will be way more people grinding or beta with it also being buffed for new players because the stats are being nerfed on it.
Yeah.
That's
We will see also how the new spots like the Kafras and the Cartian
Yeah,
realm
exactly.
are
And
gonna
how
be.
many they
If
drop.
they drop
because
a
that's
lot
also-
of the Kabuas and Dekias artifacts materials on how that's gonna evolve, we will definitely see how that is implemented next week. I believe 11th of September will be the release date. But since we've branched out a little bit, I want to go back into this topic. And unless, guys, you guys something else to say, there's not much content left for the podcast. But we started the conversation of the tournament of the Edana, and then we branched it out with grind spots and weekly content and all that. But I want to close everything up on the winning conditions for the tournament because we talked about the registration issues. We've talked about the population, right? How many people should be able to participate on this content. But we haven't talked about the winning conditions, or at least we talked about in general. Right now, it's a healthful win condition, and I believe there's nothing else, right? Am I tripping? Am I wrong? Is it just
There's gear
exclusively
and
on health?
level, isn't it?
Oh yeah, gear level. Does anybody know precisely, Chicken? Do you know the win condition for all the fights in the castle?
Sorry, I was answering someone in chat.
Sure.
And I'm gonna ask you guys this because I have no clue how to answer that. Do cooldowns do a sound when they come off? Like skill cooldowns?
You know, like the ticking, like the blip blip, whenever the cooldown is up.
I'm pretty
The
sure they
skills,
do.
or which one?
I think I might be hearing it, but I think it just became like normal for me hearing that.
Okay. No,
I guess
I'm not
they do
hearing it.
make those sounds.
Maybe,
Okay.
You could.
maybe
yeah.
you're cooked, man.
Okay. So basically, as you were saying, right now HP condition horrible. People are just running away, not fighting, not doing anything to actually go for kills. I don't know if you guys watched the NA Orbiter fight because that one was like the most egregious one. I talked with Septimus after the fight, and I asked him if he was running damage because it looked like no one on that fight was running damage, right? So I talked with Septimus. I asked him if he was running any damage, and he told me he was running like human damage with like the standard just beaters, you know, like the normal stuff. Yeah, so people were just going in with as much as they could, and I think that might be part of the reason. You know, the crystal nerfs they gave us on the DR crystals.
Yeah.
I think a big part is because of the Edana throne. I think they did it specifically because people were going into the Edana throne with a lot of those armor crystals stacked up, just to try and run away the maximum they could. And they should have just, as we said, not have the condition be HP win, because then people would stop going full DP, right? I think that's the biggest issue in general, is that the full HP win doesn't promote PvP or fighting, it just promotes running away and trying to stay alive until the end. And the worst part, for example, is that if I told you Devious is fighting a random Magu, would you think that Devious would lose the throne? Like, I don't think anyone was expecting Devious to just lose the throne because the Magu decided to run away and win by HP, the 1v1 they had, right? I find that completely ridiculous. So, to fix there's multiple ways. I still think that HP win is horrible. They probably need something during the free-for-all. They need something like damage done, or amount of kills gotten, something like that instead. And during the 1v1, you can't really do damage done, in my opinion. So in the 1v1 Edana, I saw a lot of suggestions where basically, as the time passes and the circle shrinks, you just slowly start making it so people have lower DR, basically. So you start at 800 DR on a circle, let's say, and 2 minutes in, your DR is now like 600 or something like that. And if you slow it down, if eventually people are actually going to start being one comboable, and if they just run away, they're going to start taking way more SA trade damage. In last case, you don't let the fight end until someone actually dies, or you increase how long the fight takes.
Also,
Yeah, that's my personal take.
I would be like they made the area is just getting smaller and smaller, like Edana for sure. So they cannot run away, and they have to fight.
Yeah,
it can be.
I think that's the main issue, right? Is that right now it's just okay, let's run away. No one wants to fight.
Yeah,
that's
like,
it. And then watching the fight is boring.
Yeah, Mayagu
It just becomes boring.
Suck Berserker, run away. But what you can do against these classes? Nothing. Even as a Dracania, I'm having stamina issue. I have wings, and I cannot catch the Berserker. Impossible. For example. Like, just
I'm talking from a point of a class that will never get to the 1v1 in the first place, right? Even if I do show up, because not really playing a class that's that good in skirmishing or 1v1s or anything. But in general, just for the enjoyment of watching the fights, I would like if people fucking stopped running away.
Yeah, there's a lot of content over there. If it was actually watchable and see who gets it and how the fight goes, it's a lot of content over there. It's definitely fun to watch. Nidhi, how would you make the win conditions work in Edana tournament?
Okay, I mean the HP, it's percentage based, right? It's not because it was number based. It's already doomed with Zerker winning automatically.
It is percentage based, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's fine. HP being first is just stupid. As someone said, there's number one, there should be no buildings in the Goddamn Arena. Like, you shouldn't be able to climb. Number two, area should get smaller and smaller, like in a way that does make sense. And the area to actually do percentage damage, not static damage, because it should kill you. Like, you should be punished by being in that arena. And yeah, just honestly, if it's a complete 1v1, you need to kill the other person to win. Our person needs to die. Either the guy that has the throne or the guy that's going, right? There has to be an outcome. The same the 10v10, one person. Like, kills can't be the number, because the guy who farms the most kills wins. But just preventative measures against stuff that has been done by players. That's pretty much it. Like, you can't climb buildings in AFK. You can't just be unkillable and win because of HP. I would also say that the normal well tendons, the small one, and the sturdy well tendons should be usable, but the 4K health pot should not be usable, because that doesn't also make sense. That let's say you're 8K, you have 12K HP max, you're 8K, you use the 4K pot, you're full HP at the last second, and you win by percentage. So there's the game mode just was not thought about for long, in my opinion, when it comes to PA devs. Like, they just didn't think about it. They were like, okay, we're gonna do these cookie cutter mechanics, we're gonna throw them, and here you guys go. You come.
I think
2 months. That's it.
I think they thought about it, Neri. I just don't think they expected the way our community was gonna play it, right? Like,
I mean, no, but that's the thing.
I don't think they understand about the mentality of players. That's the difference.
I mean, no, yeah, that's another big thing. P doesn't understand how players think, because they don't have a constant flow of information of what players would do. It's obvious that if something is not an exploit and it is not in the rules, a player will do it. Like, it is obvious. If you had, let's say, 10 armors, if you were unkillable at that time, you could be unkillable, and you win by HP percentage, it's obvious you wouldn't want. Like, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, and the right thing to do, but everybody, if you had the highest chance of win, would go by the highest chance of winning. That's legit it. Like, you play to win. There is no point showing off that, oh, you can kill 5 people if the last guy randomly sees you and one. Like, there's just no point of you, I can kill as many people as I want in the free-for-all 10 player fight, but if the last guy still in the end kills me, I still lose, right? So you just play to win, and you will play to win by using scamming tactics, because that's what players in every single game would do. If it's not in the rules, it's fair game. And that's just how it is, right? It's just how it is. So you have to make a good enough like system and rules to actually make players play as you want them to play. And PH didn't do that. So it's the issue of the game.
Okay.
I wanted just to say something else, and it's going to be an odd take probably, but I don't mind the structures around the area, especially if it closes like it did on Orbit at the end, right, where people can't go on top. I feel like having structures to play around at the start of the fight can be a good way of having classes that are not as good to maybe like survive the initial like chaos. For example, let's say a Suck Ranger gets into the fight for some reason. The guy is running on Suck Ranger because he's demented. What is he gonna do at the start of the fight on a 10-4-10 on the 10-player free-for-all, right? I feel like having that option of like abusing the terrain for a bit until the circle closes can give a chance for him to get to the later stages, and then he needs to fight because there's no more terrain to abuse, right? I feel like it can have a place in a sense, but
I mean,
it can't be like the first week, right, where you can stay there for the full 10 minutes. Then it's
exactly.
And you also need to think that if it's not HP win, if you stay on top of the building doing nothing, you're gonna be losing on stats at the end. So it's not like a complete good strategy either.
What were you gonna say, computer?
But what is it gonna do at the end? Like the guy who's not staying on buildings will just chill down, wait for the ranger to go down, and then the ranger loses 1v1 anyway, right?
Yeah, well,
but it's supposed to have more people. They're supposed to have more people, but it's just like a Suck Ranger like will have a better time when there's only like 6 people left than when there's all 10 left, for example, right? It's just like, that's why I'm saying that having terrain to abuse, in a sense, helps some classes not be completely fucked, in my opinion. That's why I don't mind like the terrain too much, as long as it's not part of the last circle.
Yeah, that's like, I would say that my idea of not having terrain is just because you can abuse it like it was abused, right? So sure, terrain actually does make sense in the sense of like broadening the game, the fight itself, because as you said, rangers can jump on top of it, etc. It makes sense for those classes. But the final circle should be flat ground.
Okay. What would you do, Quenya? You stated some stuff, but you can point out.
Like, I don't know, like
conditions.
the getting smaller and smaller, like Arena Farsha can be an option. I think it's kind of mandatory after, I think it's 10 minutes, isn't it? 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Yes,
I think it shrinks until like 5, something like that.
It can stay, for example, until 5 minutes. People can do some tactics or something, but no matter what, if there are like 2 people under the 5 minutes, Arena will get smaller. You'll just become fight against each other. Do you remember what was the game mode that they added and they just completely just 4 classes were available? What was it?
What do you mean, hardcore?
Hardcore. Yeah.
In hardcore, when you encounter with someone, game randomly just creating some circle and you cannot leave that area, and you have to fight with the guy. Game was forcing you. The forced PvP. And I don't know, like, PA should just force people instead of run. No matter where you run, at the end of the thing, if they're like, maybe every time, every 2 minutes, Arena can just become smaller. Okay? And game just, can teleport you something if you're outside of the arena. In random place. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So They can add anything to just, these are just some kind of, basic ideas. They can add anything to force people to fight instead of running. And if one guy is just running, you shouldn't let him run. For example, a berserker is just running, don't let him run. Just forbid it. Like, just make the arena is just, make that arena, like in arena of Arsha, you can leave that area, you just get damage. But in that, Edana format, when the arena is just getting smaller and smaller, leaving that area shouldn't be allowed. So no matter what you do, you have to fight with that guy. That's what I'm thinking. Like, and also the winning condition is completely, I don't know, like how to just fix the winning condition. I think a lot about that, but class differences just makes big, limitation about that thing. Instead of that, if there are like two people remains there, one of them needs to kill the other one, or for example, let's say that both of them tanky. Whoever just reached the first 20 CC, he wins, something like that. These type of rules. I don't know. Imagine
How
that
about...
I'm just non-stop CCing you. You're just talentless, but you're just tanky. Like you're playing Berserker, Mystic or something. You just trust your tankiness, and I just CC'd you 20 times, but I cannot kill you. You will die, or you will lose, no matter what you do. I don't know.
How about... There's this winning condition in AOS, which is weird, but I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever both players are 100% HP or they have the same percentage, I think it's the amount of hits done to the opponent that will prevail.
Damage.
It's damage, okay, it's not hits, so it's damage.
It's damage done from the two players alive for that round, not all rounds. But I don't think that's a good idea because it still depends on HP, right?
Okay.
I think you didn't consider as well is that you can store 100% until the end of the match and just wound someone in the last like 20 seconds or 10. That's why also people are running away on the last part of the fight, because if they get wounded at the end of the fight, you lose, instantly lose, because you're not going to be full HP.
That's true.
I don't like the system on the AOS either, by the way. AOS is not as bad because it's 3v3, but I don't like the HP system either because some matchups just become like one class running away from the other, trying to win by HP as well, But it is what it is. In cases like this, you just need to hope that people don't die on your team on AOS. But in a free-for-all, you can't really hope for that, right?
So what would be the best determining factor for the win to be? Would it be damage,
I still think it's skills
on the free-for-all?
Yeah, I still think it's skills, damage, CCs, but like somehow make a score out of it. I don't know. Like something needs to be changed with HP, that's for sure.
Okay. I think everyone agrees on this point. Do we have anything else to say about the topics that we've talked about?
No,
I mean, I don't have anything for the Edana. I didn't bring up a point when Condiel was talking about the PvE balance.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of people, like a lot of mid-game players. Well, I don't think it's even mid-game players that are complaining. I think it's people that think they are in the mid-game, but they're actually in the early game of PDO. They're saying they're not making enough money anymore. And I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is because... basically, if you're a mid-game player, you can grind X Sanctuary. You can grind the Yazari Daglands. All of these bots are already like over 2 bill an hour. Like, I don't understand how people are saying that they don't make enough money. I made a new account literally to find out why people are complaining about the current like progress as a mid-game player. But the only thing I can see is like the people that are complaining are actually like early game players that are still stuck at Tonglim base, for example, which does do less money than before. But I don't think that's an issue. I feel like a lot of players were used to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I say this a lot on stream when people like complain about the monster cap changes. But I think players are too used to how trolls used to be. The old trolls that you would just go there, barely any AP. You would be like 310, 320, and you would just pull the same amount of money that someone that would be at DSR would be pulling,
Yeah.
for example. Like Trolls was completely broken for the amount of gear you needed. And I think people are just like missing the fact that they could have used a spot that was way too low gear requirements for the amount of money it gave. I think that's why they are complaining. They just want to pull the same money as endgame players or people that are at DSR or Zekia with less gear than them. And I feel like that's kind of
if
stupid.
an early game player wants to get like an end game player, they can suck my cup. Just come on, bro. Like, hello, it's in a fucking MMORPG. You want to be an end game player in 1 month or something? The game is already giving you the opportunity to catch the end game player in the 1.5 year or something. You can easily not perfectly catch me, but you can just stay closer 10-15 gears on me in more than a year. Is there any other MMORPG like you can do that? I'm just playing this game more than 7 years, and you're just catching me in like a year with normal amount of effort with the average RNG. If you're RNG carried, it's even faster.
I think most MMOs let people catch up endgame players really fast, but they also like seasonal MMOs, you know, like World of Warcraft, Lost Ark. All of these MMOs reset gear every year almost, so people can catch up because of that. But BDO is like, it's a sandbox. It's a different type of genre. You're not supposed to be catching up to gear as fast because you're supposed to be playing the game for
and also like
years.
You said about income. People were, when they graduate, they used to go to Troll. Isn't it? Troll is just 310 spot, isn't it? Maybe 320.
Yeah, it was super low. Now it's like 340 or 330. It's like, it's way higher Rex than it used to be.
It's designed to be some kind of start to become an end game spot. Before it was same like that. In before, now it's same again. People didn't understand, and I'll try to clarify this point. The old system was the awkward one. You graduate from season, you are being able to go to the Troll, and you're being able to make 2 billions or more money like in endgame players. Okay, they fixed it. They adjusted it. It was just like the Troll's AP cap, 920, it was the old AP cap. It was from like 4 years ago or something, from the first release.
Yeah.
They adjusted it. They in before, when it was just like 920, we were just trying to kill them with a Zarka, with Dandelion, with Tet Black Stars or something. But now game giving you 2 free pen Black Star and 1 Tet Black Star. Like you just after graduation, if you just know how to spend time, you just graduate from season with 1.2k AP or something. If you know how to spend time in season. And there are lots of people showing, or streamers and the content creators are ready to help the early game players what they need to do. We are just making gear progression videos. They're just coming in our streams, and we are helping them about where they can grind. And also, here is the tactic: tag a Succession Magu, go Serendial, just copy some other content creators. You're gonna see that you will push the limits of 3 billion with after season graduate. Wake up! Video is just way more easier to catch people compared to other games. I'm talking about
complaints.
Like they're complaining because they're saying that I can't make money, bro. Like we have Grim. Are you in chat, my dear friend? Where's Grimkill? Bro, that guy is just
Grim is fucking
like,
insane. He goes, he grinds fucking billions and billions at like low end spots for no reason.
He grinded at season trillions of silver, and every day like 3-4 hours maximum while he's just yapping on stream. He didn't grind it 12 hours a day or something. He is a married man. He is just, he's busy. He's not he cannot grind that much. And he showed that from season he graduated with no Karazads, with the Tet armors and something. He graduated from season with 800 gear score. He showed us. It took like 6 or 8 months or something without graduation. And he graduated with all of these gears, and also he graduated from season with 6,666 loot scrolls. He will never need loot scrolls.
To play.
Yeah, it's all free to play.
Complaints.
Now he's in the chat,
though.
and they're complaining about the game is hard. Just bro, if this fucking game is hard, how would the Grim is just did for just like a casual game with a casual gameplay, free to play almost? And he just graduated from season with 800 gear score. And we're just saying that stay on season, do what Grims do, and graduate from season after 1 month if you want. Go Serenity Elvia, you make more money. You just push the limits of 3 billion
Yeah.
with the cups and the
You will
pure
move on
silver,
faster.
and you will just grow faster, and you will just easily touch the 800 gear score. I'm not talking about like in my chat. Sometimes people appears and they're saying that, hey, I'm 8 months of player and I'm 840, and I'm just saying, what the fuck? In 8 months?
Yeah.
How is it possible? And I'm just like, it's 10 gear score less than me. He's just saying that I'm just right behind of you. You and me, we only difference is you have pen armor and my weapons are not deck. And I was just like, hey, in 8 months, it is possible. So early game players and the mid game players should stop complaining and learn what game is just offering them, what they can, if this term is correct, but how they can abuse some part of the games. Can you imagine that Serendia Elway is offering you 3 billion per hour? Nobody just want to believe that, but just try it. There are some kind of different patterns. People do that. They're just, for example, spending 6 hours at Fogan, 4 hours at Orc, 4 hours at in Nagas, for example. And after then that thing, they're just making maybe 2 or 3 cups, lots of pure silver. And when you make the average, it's being in between, depends the cup price, 2.5 to 3 billion. If this is possible, with after season graduation, everything is free. Season gear is free. Pen Black Stars are free. Game is giving you free armors, free Dead God armor. The game is giving you free Pen Boss armors. Everything is free. What PA is just expecting from you? Play my fucking game. Free to play or not free to play. It totally depends to you. You will see that you will progress. Like we are here. We are ready to help you to show the way how you can do that. Go watch GrimSkill stream. And he will just, explain everything what he did. I mean, people should stop complaining about these things. There are other problems to complain about instead of progression. Progression is just overall, not the priority in this game. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we should talk about PvP balance. We should talk about PvE balance. Why PA is just, buffing Suck Ninja for no reason or Suck Witch for no reason in PvE.
That's a whole another
conversation. Why just, making suddenly just deciding to already good PvP class Sage Awakening was already acceptable class before the buffs, and they just buffed it like 2-3 times, and they just created that god. Nobody knows. We should talk about that. We should complain about that. Not the progression. Progression isn't the thing that we need to.
You bring up a good point about the balance, which is another reason I really like the AP rework they gave us, is because before there's videos of people going down as low as like 310 AP to grind Orzekia before. People would be running like 310 AP on an Awakening Mego and grinding Orzekia with like full crystal page with no problems. And I really like the changes they did, just because
Me too.
Now if a gearlet tries to grind like an endgame spot, they can't anymore. And it feels so much better when you play a bad class on endgame, because at least your gear matters more than whatever gearlet class option they picked, right? Because do you think it feels good to play a fucking Corsair or an Awakening Drak before the PvE buffs, and a fucking 310 gearlet just goes Orzekia and pulls the same money that you do? It feels like shit, bro. It feels like fucking shit when before they changed the AP caps. It fucking felt like shit. I hated it. And it's one of the reasons I really like the change on the AP caps. That gear matters way more than class when going into the end game.
The good part of your point, last thing I will say, they normally people saying that, hey, you're grinding at Orzekia, for example. You're grinding at Orzekia, you're grinding Orbita. Like, bro, look at how much money I'm making. 4 billion in average. How much you making in this, like, complaining, but how much you making in 300 AP spots? 3 billions? There's no difference. Take your time in there. Those spots are needed for you. Tunga Twins and DSR, for example, people just complaining in these times. We cannot grind an Orbita. Of course you can, because of the caps and some other things. Gear matters. You need fail stack items. You're grinding there for fail stack items. Or you go Orzekia, you need those items for your crystal enhancements. Or you need Debarakas. Or you need lots of other things. Also, we are just providing free Debarakas for you. Debarakas are just sitting on 300 million. And you're being able to just easily reach the pen Debarakas. And like 100. Soon I believe that most of the Debarakas will just stay around 100 billion. 110, 120, maybe even less than that, and you will be able to just buy your Karozats, no Karozats directly from Marketplace. So maybe we have giga experience compared to these people, and we can see downsides and the positive sides both together, and we're saying that the positive sides are better in long term. That's why Chicken said that because the gear matters a lot. Like he said, like you will be able to see that 310 people were grinding at Orzekia. It shouldn't be, because Orzekia has 340 AP spot, but old game system, old cap system, old APs were just allowing to someone just can do that, but now it's impossible. You cannot. Game physically cannot allow you to grind without close to that cap, 340 for example, sheet AP. 335, maybe you can stretch it with some other things, but every sheet AP is just, giving you lots of value, so you're being capped. You cannot go beyond that. It's good, but also it's not the end of the world, because you're making around same money with like 30 AP less spot. I think that's not the point we should talk about. Like balance and other things is way more important than this one. Why Corsair is still dead in PvE, for example.
I want to give an opportunity because I believe Computer was gonna say something about the complaints for the earlier players. If I was listening to him properly, you were gonna state something?
Yeah, so from what I heard, at least since a lot of players did come back, basically a lot of complaints I heard outside of what he said is also like they don't have the variety of grind spots, right? Like you said, they can grind X, they can grind what is it called, the spiders or whatever, I don't remember the name.
Islands?
Yeah, Azure Islands,
Yeah, but
Azure
those are the two
Islands.
spots, and if they don't like either of the spot, they don't really have the other options. Because some spots are just really bad.
I do agree with that. Some of the spots need to be tuned because they are fucking shit. I do agree with that. You know what's the problem is that if you're a mid game player and you don't want to go eggs or islands, your other options are compass or map grind. Those are your options, and I don't think PA didn't want to make those spots like crazy money because they drop treasures, but they probably should buff the compass spots a bit.
Maybe
treasure map.
They can just add few more spots in that there are some kind of empty big gaps in between. For example, 310 AP to 350 AP, something like that. No more options that you can go. And if you don't like those two spots, for example, you mentioned, there is no other proper way to just fix it. Maybe they can.
I mean, the spots are there; they're just bad. The spots are there; they are just bad. Like you have crescents, for example, in between, but crescents is bad because it does a lot of damage and just drops.
And it's dependent
Devos,
on the market. Yeah.
Like it's basically like it's dependent on Devo market, and Devo market is down bad, so all of the spots will be bad, right? Like I think they just need to balance and increase the diversity at that AP level.
Yeah.
Because the diversity at early game is really big. Like you can go Surrender Elv, you can go Jade Forest, Ongling Base. Like you can go Gaifin apparently still. I heard people say that they could pull like decent money there.
Yeah.
So you still have diversity at early game, but at mid game, I do agree that diversity is kind of shit. And they need to do something about it, and that's just like buffing the spots, as I said. Like the treasure spots need to be better. The ones that are dependent on Devos need to be better. Like that's it.
Yeah, I would say that the pillar Debo ring spots are basically dead with that current marketplace. There's no point going there as a mid game player.
Or
like
there
any
has to be
Debo
something.
spot is dead pretty much. Any Debo spot. Because of Orbita.
It's a whole another conversation. If every spot in the game should have the Boreka drop, or actually give it to specific spots to actually make it, as we talked before, to make it like separated and give it diversity. So if you want upgrades, you go Orbita or Edania. If you need flames, you go to the spots of the flames. If you need Kafras, you go to another place. If you need treasures, you go, like you have options on the menu, but giving the Borecas to everything is just, I think, not good. Should be more specific to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I don't dislike just because it's a good catch-up mechanic for new players.
That's also true.
Because the demo price are tanking like crazy because of them just dropping everywhere, right?
Yeah, like I remember the days I don't know if you guys remember these days. It wasn't that long ago, maybe like 2 years, 3 years ago. People were just selling dead Deborecas at 90 billion.
Yeah, you could
Do
make
you guys
profit with
remember
them.
that?
Yeah.
Like people were making crazy amounts of money with that, and now you see it, and it's like, I mean,
the strategy was literally to go grind devos at crypt and enhance them yourself for
Yeah.
profit. Yeah.
Yes.
But you can't anymore. But I think
a
that's
good friend
fine.
of mine were Ted on EU and Ted Double Belt were sitting on 90 bill pre-orders, was doing like 3 Ted Double Belts a week, right? So that's what
that's a lot of money.
that's 270 bill a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot
So
of money.
that was the moment where a lot of people got like geared. That was like really, and that was Cronstones for 2 million, by the way. That wasn't.
Yep.
300.
Those, if you played 3 years ago, you missed a good opportunity, guys.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
oh,
the thing is, people have to notice that those opportunities are gonna come. There will be a moment one item is highly needed, and if you have, that was the time where crypt was hard to grind. You had to have accuracy, you had to be on specific classes, and you already had to be geared. And if you're running accuracy offhand, you were pulling bad numbers, and that meant like not that many double belts. So there was a requirement for it. But the same thing will happen in this game, and it's in every MMO. There will be a moment where it is in a weird spot, and you can just abuse that and get rich. That's how it. That's how it goes.
But I guess we can leave
that's
the PV balance.
I was gonna say that's
overall...
a good. I was gonna say that it's a good aspect of video that you can you can like abuse the market sometimes to make like huge profit. Like there's a lot of people that make their money that way. A lot of life skillers that enjoy that aspect of the game. I think the only thing BDO does wrong right now is that they are very slow at increasing min prices and max prices of items. You know, like when something is not selling, they should be super fast at reducing the min price, for example.
I would agree on that. There's a lot of items
like
that
they take so long to adjust that shit, and then people think they just sit on the market or not sold on the market because look at Forest Furies, for example. Forest Furies could be a great income to grind if they just fucking increase the amount of Forest Furies you get, how much they sell for, right? Like they just need to be faster, which is like that.
Yeah, could be a good point. But overall, there's a whole new realm, which is the PvE, which we can leave for a future episode. If you guys want to join, you're always welcome. Now that Chicken is on the server, you can jump into whatever episode you want, as well as you guys do, same with computer. But I think we can agree that everything that we wanted to talk for, it's done. So how about we start closing? Unless there's somebody that has any other idea that wasn't finished or wants to comment, we can start with some closing ideas.
May I just stop?
Okay. I wanted just as a closure, because there's one thing that Computer mentioned, and I know that he's a returning player. Maybe you can finish with that, Computer. What made you come back to VDL?
Okay.
Reinstall it, and what, because we've seen the numbers of popularity of the game increased. What was the point that made you join the game, and what are you afraid that may make you get out of video again?
Well, I'll be honest. There's nothing else to play. That the game combat is just
okay.
It's good. It's good. It is how it is. That's the truth.
You know
yeah, that's the biggest thought. Like, there's no other games.
Okay.
I'll translate that for you guys. He's basically saying Throne Liberty shit. That's it. He was on Throne Liberty. I was on Throne Liberty. Like that's the reason people came back. Throne Liberty. The devs killed the game. So
pretty much.
Yeah, we came back to video.
Pretty much. But what I would expect is, how do I say it? Oof. I want to see more PvP mods. I really do. I want to see more things to do with people as well. Like, duo grinding is not a thing anymore. Like, where are the Mirmuk trees? But I quit 2 years ago, and there was like on the Calpion ball or one of the balls, they said they're gonna make Mirmuk trees, Dekia, and I was so happy about it. I was like, oh nice, I loved Mirmuk. I can grind with friends. I came back 2 years later and it's still not here.
You can go imps. It's crazy.
Yeah, 5 million an
The
hour.
other imps.
Woohoo!
Yeah, but
Double
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
really
I don't know
like
if you
is more
guys, I don't know if you
transports
watched the video
together
from
and-
Moshi.
Hmm?
Did you watch the video from Moshi about group grinding
I didn't.
computer? That's a
not
Moshi
sure.
made a video. Moshi made a video ranting about group spot as well, like maybe three weeks ago or 4. And it's a really good video. If you haven't watched, you should. And it's basically like complaining because they, for example, they removed duo spot tours, right? Which was like something people really enjoyed to do, and they just decided to remove
Yes.
that spot for some reason. I think everyone agrees that the game needs more group grinds,
Yep.
like in general. Like,
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but basically on what Iga asked, that's something that could actually make me quit the game. Not being able to play with friends. That's why I went to Tron and Liberty in the first place.
Mm.
While the combat is way more shit, I could actually play with people, you know? It's an
Yep.
MMO.
I mean, Throne Liberty.
Okay.
That's literally the why people went there. It's you had PvP and you had to be in a guild, you had to be in a community, because otherwise you don't play the game properly. Like, it's impossible to play the game without being in a guild and a community. That's the only reason
Nice.
that made the game popular compared to video.
And that's the other way around on video, I feel like. But yeah. Good
They keep going the wrong way around, yes.
Yeah. Good closing thoughts from you, computer. I hope Athanasi comes back in full strength.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, I need the
that-
merc spots, man. My bags.
Okay. Okay, Quenya, you can do your final closing thoughts if you want.
Okay, so before to just closing thoughts, I want to just share something. People just arguing in the chat about the Garmoth incomes and something. Garmoth is an amazing website, but we should remember that the Garmoth value is just given by the people. Just new people, like maybe someone is trolling, just giving bad values about the incomes, average incomes, and you see on Garmoth can give you some idea to compare some different spots. But they're not showing the actual values. When you go there with a proper experience to the spot, you will definitely do better than Garmoth, okay? There is no, like, I'm not saying Garmoth is bad website. It's one of the best, maybe the best website in the these type of things. And but don't trust because the values are belong to people, not the Garmoth values, okay? So no need to just argue about that. It's a good website. So I want to say thank all of you guys, Chicken, Neri, Computer, our manager Hygaa. Hopefully I can see you guys in the next podcast if it is possible. Maybe we can see more people. I would love to see that lots of webcams, lots of people yapping in this monitor on my screen, but we cannot just reach over like 7 or something. Our max is 7, and webcam is just being a problem. We want to see the reactions of the people. I don't know. Yeah, like I will also end Twitch streams right now in here, and also YouTube streams. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by, and maybe we can do the other, the podcast and next week. Also, I'm sending Twitch people to Chicken. I think they will be happy there. Thank you so much. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for the podcast. I know it's a lot of work to do. Done that 2 years ago. Good job, yeah, and I hope it keeps up as well to see it next week,
hopefully.
actually.
It was
Hopefully,
fun.
hopefully. We
I
will
love
try
yapping.
to. Yeah, I can tell, guys. I'll try to just keep